Pure adrenaline, speed, and visuals that make your eyes melt out of their goddamn sockets, all combined with an intense electronic score and a dystopian sci-fi backdrop. Well, is there anything else that you really need in a movie? REDLINE was released in 2009, directed by Takashi Koike. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that name right, so I absolutely apologize for that. But the movie is renowned for its visual flair and its spectacle, and it's not really hard to see why. It feels like one of those movies that would play on the Sci-Fi Channel after midnight back in the early 2000s. There's even kind of a slight Aeon Flux vibe to it with its character design, or at least that's what it instantly reminded me of. Right from the get-go, you can tell that this is going to be a hyper-stylized movie that's probably going to make or break it for many people right from the get-go just because of the animation style, but it's done completely on purpose because a large majority of this film centers around this intergalactic illegal racing competition called the Red Line. So the pure adrenaline and the speed and the veracity of the animation is meant to represent, well, the same exact things from the race itself. And within the competition, it's not just a race, but a race where survival is uncertain, and the people and alien creatures that are involved in it add whatever kind of weapons, explosives, or modifications they can find just to have a better shot at the victory. Featuring a variety of possibilities when it comes to the cars themselves, the weaponry that they will have, and the alien creatures that are driving them, their connections to one another, and what they are willing to put on the line for that absolute victory. And it does a great job at building up each of the individual characters so that you understand why the race is actually important to them. It's not just there to be a spectacle, but there are reasons why every character is involved and doing what they're doing. Even characters that you only see for a few minutes of screen time can also have a deep emotional or resentful motivation for wanting to see it through and wanting to put themselves into such a dangerous position. The main protagonist is JP, and he accepts the Red Line early on in the film after narrowly surviving an explosion of his car, and all of that was due to his friend being tangled up in the mafia, but JP himself is pretty much just a dude trying to find fulfillment through the races themselves. His interactions with the other characters are also always interesting and unexpected, and what the movie does very well is making it feel like this lived-in universe. We aren't really explained how things work, we just see it happen. We see the shopkeepers, we see the slums, we see the bars, and we see the galactic overlords of Robo-World where the Red Line is taking place. We see the luxuries and efficiencies of this world with a large assortment of different kinds of alien creatures and life forms, making everything feel very casual. This is just a regular day in the life for the world that we are experiencing and what people are doing on their day-to-day basis, taking what might feel fantastical to us and having it seem very mundane to the characters. Now, apparently this movie was entirely hand-drawn, and these are just some facts I looked up about it after I watched it, which is amazing to think about all of it being hand-drawn to begin with, but also that this movie took 7 years to complete, which is absolutely crazy. And especially disappointing when you think about how it kind of fizzled at the box office, but at this point it has made itself into being a cult fan favorite, and it's no surprise as to why. I can understand on one hand the animation being a little off-putting, but once you're locked into it, it does become a spectacle that is a pleasure to watch from start to finish. By the time it gets to its climax and you have multiple characters to root for and everybody is speeding at hundreds of miles per hour and you feel the intensity and the power of the vehicles themselves, it becomes this high-speed battle like Mad Max on cocaine, and then just a bunch of killer robots show up into the fray attacking everyone. There's even an ultimate weapon called Funky Boy. I mean, come on, this is awesome. Also, this movie is pretty adult-oriented, and what I mean by that is there is plenty of swearing, violence, and the occasional titty pop to satisfy all of that edginess that you might want in your life. And once again, it also helps it feel like be one of those late-night animes that you would catch back in the day. Combine that with the visuals, endearing characters, and even some motivational themes like not giving up on your dreams, persevering, or even having somebody by your side pushing you that little extra in order to succeed in your own way and accepting you for it. Even that little bit of lovey-dovey is there for some people. It's really a movie that's got a touch of everything, honestly, and I think that everybody could probably find something that they would enjoy about it. I don't know if I would recommend it to non-anime watchers just because the visuals are so exaggerated and intense, but I do think it's the kind of movie that even if you're not a hardcore anime person, I do think that you could find some enjoyment out of it and something to appreciate about it, even if it's just because of the dystopian setting and the action sequences alone. But there's really not too much to say about it without getting into spoilers or talking about specific scenes. So overall, I just wanted to recommend this movie because I just watched it for the first time the other day, and I do think it definitely is something that everybody should experience at least once. It's an hour and 40 minutes long, so it's not going to take up a ton of your time. I do think it's available on some streaming platforms or available to rent, and I think it's also just on YouTube for free. So find some way to check it out and tell me what you think about it. If you've seen it already, how do you feel about the film? What did you think about its style and intensity? And is it a film that you go back to often, or was it kind of a one and done? It really is just one of those movies that sucks you in with its atmosphere and keeps you there for the entire time. To kind of go into this large-scale fantasy world with all of this chaos and destruction, and like the violence feels real and intense, but at the same time, because it's so exaggerated and fantastical, it just makes it feel like you're watching something that truly is off-world. You're watching something that truly is in another dimension, on another planet, completely different from anything that you're really used to. And because of that, and many other reasons, I would definitely recommend giving Redline a watch. Also, thanks for watching this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Please give it a thumbs up and a comment if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the film, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more anime, manga, and movie reviews. If you want to support the channel on a deeper level, I have Patreon, channel memberships, all that linked down in the description below, as well as all the various social media links where you can follow me. Other than that, guys, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time.